We're back at the Arlington Theatre for the Santa Barbara International Film Festival. It's another exciting night. I'm Melanie Waters, and I'll be your host tonight. As you can see, we have a great crowd gathered for the world premiere of the surf documentary, Bustin Down the Door. Tonight we're going to be interviewing surf legends like Shaun, Tomson, and we're going to be asking them how surfing has changed since the 1970s. It's a great evening for surfing lovers and all. Enjoy the show. I'm here with Jeremy Gosch, the director of Bustin Down the Door. Jeremy, congratulations, first of all, on this enormous turnout. What do you think of the response that we're already getting from the Santa Barbara community? This is the biggest so far of the festival.
Oh, I'm just so stoked. I mean, when I saw the line and all the people from Santa Barbara turning out who are here, it just, it kind of feels like a dream, honestly. I don't know what to say. It's just amazing.
Why was it so important for you to make this film?
It really was just such a really dramatic and interesting story about these guys. I mean, the more we kind of dug into what they went through to kind of put professional surfing and surfing on the map as far as a sport, it was kind of unbelievable. So it was just, I mean, already with the film we had, you know, brilliant like stock footage, amazing images, and you know, some of the best storytellers in surfing, which I think surfers are kind of the best storytellers around. So to get them all together and start telling it, and then really what really amazing people these guys were to really put their heart and soul into trying to make their dreams come true. I'm just glad it's on the screen and everyone can check it out.
What kind of a reaction have you gotten from the different subcultures within surfing about making this documentary?
I've been really trying to stay as far away from that as possible. I mean, really, we've almost been in a little bubble making the film. I mean, really, even the guys who it's about haven't seen it. So tonight's really going to be the first reaction I get, besides, you know, the few people who've seen it as we've been dealing along, you know, the other producer, Shaun Tomson, and a couple of people in the industry, but we've just tried to be kind of quiet and just do our project, and everyone's been, I mean, from all the surfers we interviewed, and everyone's enthusiastic to work with us because of Shaun Tomson. It's been great that way, but the reaction, I don't know how they're going to feel. We'll see.
And how did your relationship start with Shaun Tomson?
I met Shaun a few years ago, and right away we clicked. Like, I'm a filmmaker and a surfer, and he's a surfer, and you know, just was apt to do a project. So we started throwing some projects around, and then about 2 years ago, I was like, you know, you guys did such an important thing in this Bustin' Down the Door area. Why don't we make a documentary about it? And he's like, all right, and off we went.
We can't wait to see it. Good luck tonight.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm here with Bartholomew, legendary surfer. You coined the term Bustin' Down the Door in the 1970s. What does the term mean to you?
Well, it really means, you know, a new era breaking into and trying to make professional surfing. It means taking on the big waves in the North Shore, and it kind of just means, you know, like a revolution in surfing, because we were the children of the shortboard revolution, and we had something to say with our surfing.
And Rabbit, you have to tell us, where did you get that nickname?
Oh, I got the nickname from playing pinball. I was a former pinball wizard before I was a pro surfer, and I had mastered the art of playing two machines at once, but it took a rabbit hop to do it.
Very good. And I understand you also wrote a book, Bustin' Down the Door. Tell us about what you wrote about.
Well, I mean, the book Bustin' Down the Door is an autobiography, and it's about my life, that is, and but it gives an insight into what it was like, you know, beginning surfing in the 60s and coming through the whole era, and what the stigma of surfing, and kind of overcoming that, and then meeting guys like Mark Richards and Shaun Tomson, and doing all these wild and crazy things, and going to Hawaii and having a great life.
How did competition come into play during those times?
Well, competition was always there. You know, we came to California in 1972 for the ISF World Surfing Championships, but then it kind of all imploded, and that just sort of became extinct. So when we arrived, when we were 18, 19, 20 and doing the best surfing in the world, there was nothing for us, like absolutely nothing for us. And we decided we were going to go to Hawaii and try to be the hottest surfer in the world. It was as simple as that. And together, we were quite a force and made quite a big impact.
And how do you feel about the kids today that seem to have it so easy, right? There's competitions laid out for them.
Well, I run ASP, and it's a top level of professional surfing, and we've got the greatest surfers in the world, from Kelly Slater and Andy Irons, the world champion now Mick Fanning and Joel Parkinson, and those guys I think do have an appreciation of where we came from. But I think it's really nice. Bustin Down the Door will really show exactly our humble beginnings and the fight that it took and the effort that it took to make this sport the great sport it is.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Rabbit Bartholomew.
Thank you.
We're here with legendary surfer Shaun Tomson, who's also the producer of the film tonight. Shaun, tell us why you felt a strong need to make this film.
Well, I think it's just a wonderful story about life. It's a story about young kids. We were all kids at the time. We were all 18, 19, 20. And we just put our lives on the line in order to achieve a dream. And that was a dream of being able to make a living from going surfing, and a dream of hopefully one day being the best in the world. And the dream didn't come easy. There were a lot of challenges involved, and we just thought it was a nice story.
How have you seen surfing change from the 70s until today?
Oh, there have been massive changes. When we were initially competing and when we helped develop pro surfing, it was maybe $100,000 sport. Today the sport's worth tens of millions of dollars. There's millions and millions of surfers around the world, and today it's big business. Some surf companies have sales in excess of $2 billion. And
you're clearly a popular guy. How does it feel to get this kind of a reaction?
Pay them to say that.
I have a feeling they're not paid. How does it feel to get such a warm response from Santa Barbara?
Great. I live here in Santa Barbara, so we've had a tremendous hometown support here, and we're just hoping that the people love the movie because it's just a great, great story.
Wonderful. What kind of a reaction have you gotten from the surfers that you interviewed and those participating in the film?
I think we got a really great reaction. It was a special time in surfing. It was a moment when, in about 3 weeks, surfing changed almost overnight. And I think a lot of people look back on that era very fondly. Sure, there's some guys that have still got strong attitudes about what happened and have got very strong feelings about what happened over that period. But generally, I think we got a very, very positive response about a terrific story.
If you had the option of starting out when you did in the 70s versus starting out today, where all the groundwork is laid out for you, which would you select?
Well, I think it was great being a pioneer. It was great having that challenge. And I think the greatest part of all is that we just had this dream, and we made the dream come true. So that's for us was very special. And I loved the era I was in and that I surfed through. And I'm sure the kids today love the era that they're in. And I think there's a commonality between what we had to do in 1975 and what kids have to do today in 2008. You've got to bust down the door to be successful.
Thank you so much, Shaun Tomson. We're looking forward to it tonight.
Pleasure. Come and see my film.
Never